değerli katılımcılarımız şimdi Güney Kore Tüketici Davranışları ve Güney Kore'de Başarılı Olmanın Sırları başlıklı konuşmasını yapmak üzere kıdemli küresel hesap yöneticisi Sayın Suri sahneye davet ediyorum efendim.
Bünyeli. Evet. Evet, şunu sökecekler. Teşekkür ederim. Sağ ol. Nerede alacaklar diye, alacak şimdi genç.
All right. Okay, I will begin now. Nice to meet you, everyone. My name is Suri Yang. I'm coming from South Korea, coming from Coupang. So that's a very big photo of myself, so it's quite embarrassing. But thank you for preparing the intro for for this presentation. So today I'm here to introduce you Coupang as well as the Korean market. So I believe many of you are manufacturers, brand owners, or you are exploring new opportunities to sell outside of Turkey, US, Europe. So just to give you a brief intro about Korean market as well as Coupang, I'm here. So it's a very quick presentation, so I hope I wouldn't lose your attention. So just quick information about Korea. I'm pretty sure with the long history between Turkey and Korea, you know where South Korea is located. So in terms of population, we have 52 million population. So it's around 30% less than Turkey. However, when it comes to e-commerce, we are very, very strong. So out of 52 million population, we do have some sort of GDP per capita information here. So as you can see, GDP per capita in euro. I prepared the presentation mainly in euro. So please refer to your understanding of euro value. So GDP per capita in euro is 30,861. It's actually fourth largest economy in Asia, and then 12th largest economy globally. We are actually most wired country in the world. What that means is when it comes to e-commerce, we can provide very fast services. I'm going to move on to the next slide. So next slide actually shows the online market size. This is a global data. This data was pulled, 2025, so it's very recent. So as you can see, in terms of online market size, we're not talking about entire market size, but specifically for online, Korea currently lies at fourth largest in the world. So that's, of course, China, of course, and second being USA, third being the UK. So Korea market size is actually expected to grow over UK by 2028, and then we will become the third largest online market in the world. So when it comes to online versus offline sale, this data is actually coming from 2024, and 2025 within our data, the expected online sale is actually 55%. So as you can imagine, Korea is one of the only countries that actually has online sale exceeding offline sale. So no longer people actually go to supermarket, department store and make all the purchases there. Many times they will actually view the product, and then on the way back home, they will enter Coupang or other markets, e-commerce player, and then they will simply place the order with one swipe. So that's generally the customer behavior. So now we are curious, online market is big, so then what can we sell? What do they buy? So here is the data. So as you can see, so the fashion is number one, food is number two, third is home, car, fourth is beauty, personal care. So please note that this information here is value, basically the turnover, revenue, USD. Actually, this one doesn't have USD value, but anyway, it's sales. It's not a unit value. So this fashion being number one, it includes luxury fashion. So you can imagine fashion being number one does not necessarily mean there are a lot of opportunity, because of course luxury having really, really high average order value, there may be, in terms of units sold, they may come down all the way to 5th or 6th in terms of ranking. So in that case, what sells the most is actually food, home, and beauty. So I believe there are lots of brands here who are selling food products as well as beauty and personal care products. So maybe this data is of your interest. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next slide. So here is, of course, Coupang being the biggest e-commerce player in South Korea. We have a lot of analysis regarding the customer behavior. And then here are some insights that I would like to share with you today. So, of course, I think we're pretty much aware that Asian consumers are very price sensitive. In these days, competition is so fierce, so same product being sold online by multiple sellers, of course, the customer will choose the one has the lowest price. So you have to be price competitive. And then it makes sense the online savvy Korean consumers or any Asian consumers being very price sensitive because they have the means to search the same product from multiple channels and compare. Regarding what's the best price range, what are the products that are being sold from outside to Korea, it's actually, there is a sweet spot, but it's not exclusively because of the customer behavior. It's due to our custom and tax VAT regulation. So if any product comes into Korea and it's over 150 USD, the customer will have to pay custom fee on top VAT. However, if the product comes to Korea and then consumers bought it and then it's under 150 USD, then customer don't have to pay VAT. So it's very attractive. So if I were to buy something, same product flying from Turkey, same product in Korea, of course, I will be paying VAT. So I might as well buy from Turkey if the logistic cost is, of course, affordable. So those are the information that will be relevant in terms of setting up the price, as well as if your product has very low ASP, bundling your price, this will be relevant data points. Moving on to price and authenticity matters. So you can see on the first bullet point, customer choose low price, 38.2%, followed by authenticity, 32.1%. So authenticity matters a lot. So why would Koreans buy olive oil all the way from Italy when there are already tens of brands of olive oil available in Korea? Is because we want new brands, we want new products, we want authentic products, we want the products that real Italians eat over there. Same thing with Turkey. We want the authentic products to enter to Korea. We want to get the products that we cannot get currently in Korea through cross-border business model. So authenticity will matter a lot. So for those of you who have products that are very much related to the culture of Turkey, soul of Turkey, then of course you're gonna have a easier, let's say, easier chance of getting the initial sales. So I'm going to moving on to the next spot, which is health and fashion for repeat purchase. So Korean consumers, we are very, very health sensitive. So whatever we touch, whatever we put it in our body, we want to make sure we are putting the right thing inside. So we are one of those customers who will actually read the labels back of the products, and that we want to make sure whatever we are eating is authentic, healthy, good for my body. So that's why actually health supplement or anything products related to health is very much popular in Korea, and then they have the highest repeated orders. So in terms of what are the subcategories that people are selling on Coupang, as well as in Korea, that are coming from abroad. So these are actually, it's in the next slide. So yeah, thank you. So these are the subcategories. So maybe some of you can find your categories right here. So in terms of beauty, perfume, body hair care, skincare, and FYI, we have this stereotype that ladies on this side of the world has fantastic hair. So potentially that could be something you can play with if you are part of that category. Health supplement as well is a very, very popular category, as mentioned. If you have specific ingredients or which is very authentic to Turkey, you will have a higher chance of converting very quickly. Because we are very much open to try new health supplement, and then we want to see if it's going to work. So we are very much open to the unique and niche ingredients. Moving on to, I'm just going to highlight few categories only because I don't have time to cover everything. But in terms of apparel, of course, Turkey is known for textile business. However, when it comes to apparel, it's either in or out, meaning completely in. So we love to buy luxury products from outside of the world. We are actually Koreans, consumers are the highest spenders per capita for luxury items. It's over Chinese consumers. So you can tell we love to shop. But when I say in and out, it means people are willing to spend a lot of money for luxury product, but for regular products that are not branded, we don't want to spend as much. So it's also because we are accustomed, imagine we're very much close to China, so we're very much accustomed to getting very, very cheap clothes from flying directly from China. So there is a certain understanding that when buying regular clothes, we do not want to spend much money. However, you can still play with that notion that, for example, in terms of textile, Korean consumers are aware of the quality of Turkish materials in terms of textile. So if we were to have a product from China, made in India, and made in Turkey, automatically we will choose made in Turkey. Of course, when I say automatically, this is when the price is the same or only slightly different. But of course, made in Turkey's textile does have the brand awareness already. So I'm going to move on to the next slide. Here, I'm just giving a few examples of the popular brands. You could potentially check these brands and then see what are the products that they are selling, and then what were their strategies in terms of their success in Korean market. So it's more for you to refer. I'm pretty sure some of the brands you can recognize. So I did speak a fair amount about the Korean market. So I'm going to actually quickly introduce you to Coupang. So Coupang is actually currently 6th largest e-commerce player in the world. And of course, that's after Amazon, Alibaba, and 3 other Chinese players. And then we are the 6th largest. We are currently 175th Fortune 500 company. And then we have been nominated as most innovative company in 2025. This is a metrics in the USA, so it's not worldwide, but I just put it there. You can see the net revenue as well. Just a little bit more about Coupang's technology. We are known for our technology, Coupang AI, as well as our management in terms of human resource. So just to add on that, I'm actually going to move on to the next slide to add a little bit more details on our capability. Yes, so here is the map of South Korea. It's a very, very small country. Of course, we're divided. So it's a tiny, tiny country in the Far East. So those dots that you're seeing is, of course, it's not exact, but that's where all the Coupang fulfillment centers are located. So you can imagine the data is actually written there. So out of 52 million Korean consumers, 70% live within 10 kilometers radius of Coupang Fulfillment Center. So what we are known for is one-day delivery as well as dawn delivery. So dawn delivery, maybe it's a new concept. If the order was made before 11 p.m. the day before, the next day before 5 a.m., your product is already in front of your door. So that's what we are known for, and then that's actually the key to our success in the market. Slightly more about Coupang. So Coupang, of course, we are known for to be like an Amazon of South Korea, being our e-commerce is the strongest core business. However, we do have other business. So Coupang Play, it's like Amazon Prime, but basically it's like Netflix. So we are the only licensed distributor for HBO from America. So it's actually a very popular platform to watch and enjoy the entertainment. We also own the license for Saturday Night Live. I'm not sure if many of you are familiar with this franchise. So we also own the license for Saturday Night Live. And then it's actually very popular with sports and so on and so on. So it's a very popular platform. And we also do Coupang Eats, which is like Uber Eats. We also have luxury segment app, which is Arlux. I'm not sure if you guys know the company called Farfetch. So Farfetch is the biggest luxury e-commerce in the world. The company we actually acquired 2 years ago. So I believe it was one of the biggest acquisition back in 2024. So we basically sell everything from Gucci to fresh oyster, to sofa, to pencil, basically everything you could just imagine. So moving on to the next slide. So you have now understood what we do, and then what's the business's scale, and then now we need to understand what can't you sell in Coupang as a global seller. So there are certain products that you won't be able to sell in Korea. Some of them are obvious, and some of them are slightly tricky. To give you an example, for example, like toothpaste. Toothpaste is like basically a personal care product. However, for that specific category, it's actually not allowed. For cross-border, you have to be licensed to sell toothpaste in Korea. So the paperwork and process may be a little bit more stringent. So it was one example, but other illegal products could be, of course, drug, anything that is medicine. Of course, it's not allowed. You have to have license to be selling medicine in any country. So there are certain obvious ones. And of course, you have to comply with the intellectual property. If you want to sell something, you should have the right to sell. So it's a very it's a no-brainer, let's say. So anything that is illegal in the sense it's an adult product or so on, I don't think I need to go farther. Basically, any illegal products you can't sell. I'm going to move on to the next slide. Sorry, I mentioned toothpaste a bit too early, but basically anything that is written here and few more, generally speaking, it's a chemical products because we are very sensitive when it comes to controlling what touches our skin or children's skin or what goes in our mouth. So these are the products, examples of the products that you cannot sell, basically. There are certain products that you cannot sell cross-border if you don't have the right to sell it. Not only the selling part, but also you have to have certification. We call this, next slide please, KC certification. So just to give you a good example is any product that touches baby's skin, baby meaning also include children under 14 years of age, then those product needs to be certified. Same product, if it says it can be used over 15 years of age plus, then you don't need to certify. So there are certain rules that needs to be reviewed by each company. Of course, you guys have all different products. So those are the things that you have to do initial research. So I have gone through over the time, but anyway, I hope the information was helpful to quickly understand about Korean market as well as Coupang's business capability. So I'm happy to take some questions or not. Okay, yeah, it was just automatic reaction, but yeah. Yes. Yeah, great question. So today's the keynote speech was more about Korean market and a little bit of introduction to Coupang. So I did not get in too deep in terms of how to start. We did have a workshop, but I'm just going to be very brief. So for anyone who wants to start selling at Coupang Marketplace with cross-border business, you can start within the next week. So you can set up an account with your current Turkish business license, current Turkish bank account, current Turkish government-issued ID. You can set up an account now. But of course, we have to answer the questions of logistic, as well as pricing, as well as marketing, as well as product listing. However, when it comes to setting up an account, meaning becoming a member, you can do it now. You can literally Google Coupang Marketplace right now, and there will be our official website. On the top right, there is sign up button. You click, and then you're right there. Any other questions? Great question. So I believe there are many companies who focuses on food products, food categories here. So I'm going to be very brief. There are mainly two ways, depending on the food, of course. Mainly two ways. One, you do cross-border. Cross-border meaning your stock does not stay in Korea. The product is not officially exported nor imported to Korea, but it will be imported per personal usage, per order. In that case, you do not have to certify your product, nor have to label your product in Korean language. This sounds fantastic, but of course, your order needs to be shipped per order base for personal usage. That's the only way you can skip the certification. If you want to become official brand, you want to set up a Korean entity, then of course, you have to certify your product, label your product, and your label also need to be reviewed and certified. So there are pros and cons of doing the business outside of Korea, inside of Korea, but depending on your strategy, company's internal goal, you can decide either of the model.
First of all, welcome to Turkey.
Thank you.
Very pleased to see you in an international profile in this seminar. Because when I told that e-commerce, this means that globally trade, United States, China, Korea, all of them. So maybe I missed out your presentation, but I really wonder that because my friends generally getting rich after selling Turkey than United States and Europe. Generally that model, they get the products from China and sell US or Europe, It's kind of drop shipping or something. But we are turning that stock trade after that. What do you think about that? Also, do you have any idea that you want to open any brand or some branch in Turkey or something? What do you think about the international trade and e-commerce about Turkey,
So if I understood correctly, are you talking about setting up a fulfillment center in Turkey in order to ship the item from Turkey to Korea? Or are we talking about setting up a Turkish entity in order to sell from Turkey to rest of the world?
Both.
So Coupang, our audience is Korean, Japanese, and Taiwanese. So our platform should be considered to be used in order to sell your product to the other side of the world. Coupang does not do outbounds. We get this request a lot. So for example, K-beauty is very popular these days. We own lots of stocks, of course. And then many of the marketplace, all the big players will reach out to us and say, why don't you do outbound? We can buy from you. Unfortunately, that's not our core business. We don't do outbound at this stage. So basically, we're here to recruit sellers to sell to Korea. In terms of, to answer the logistic question, we are also here to meet some of the logistic companies to understand whether there will be capability, also possibility of working with Turkish logistic company to help the companies to ship the products to Korea. It's going to be ongoing discussion. It's not going to be a matter of 1 day or 1 week, but we started the discussion. And of course, once something is finalized, we will make sure to work with ministry as well as TIM to notify the Turkish brands that these services will be available.
Also, I can ask
Yes.
two questions. What kind of Turkish products can be competitive in South Korea? And last one, as I know, in Korea, social media totally different from Western. So maybe you can give also which social media can be effective for Turkish companies.
Yes, thank you for the question. So, mhm.
Also, if you give like myself brainstorming is how are we gonna come to the first roles, first ranks to sell more? You know, I mean, is there any hints that you can give us because we are going to make in the dropshipping? We are gonna list over there product is here. We need some hints to sell more. How are we gonna be competitive? How are we gonna come to the first ranks to sell more?
So I got a question first about what's possibly going to be the products that could be attractive. Turkish product that could be attractive in Korea, first question. Second question is about social media. What are the social media channels that Turkish companies could focus in order to be market themselves? Third question basically is what could be the initial intro strategy in order to start selling, start getting conversion. So I'm going to start answering from first question. So Korea market, even though it's very, very much far, the consumer behavior is, there's no rocket science. It feels far, however, the behavior is very similar to, let's say, Americans. We spend a lot of money online. We shop lots of things. We love premium goods. We love authentic products. So you have to think about what is going to be authentic products coming from Turkey. What are you good at? What are you globally known for? But the answer is very much straightforward. You're known for nuts, dried fruits, hair care, desserts, of course, textile. Potentially all these products, ingredients could expand to subcategories, but the initial brand awareness has to be related to Turkey because that's how you're going to be competitive. So that's the first question. It's very vague, but it also comes down to your brand as well. If your brand is already strong in Turkey and in Europe, of course, nowadays people can search really easily. So if you already are successful in US and Europe, your conversion, your sales volume in Korea will pick up very quickly compared to other companies who has no brand awareness worldwide. So that was the first question. Second question about the social media. So Instagram is the strongest player in South Korea. Facebook, not really. TikTok, not really. We do have something like WhatsApp, which is KakaoTalk. So KakaoTalk is like WhatsApp, however, it functions also partially as a social media. So you can also trigger advertisement on KakaoTalk. The other platform you should know about is Naver. Naver is basically Google of South Korea. When it comes to Google, of course, you have Google advertisement, right? So very similar to Google, you can trigger advertisement on Google as well, on Naver as well. So social media-wise, as well as search engine-wise, you should focus on Instagram, Naver, and KakaoTalk. That would be the 3 main keywords. To answer the third question, which was how can we, what's the initial strategy? What's the hint in terms of marketing? Of course, there's no right or wrong answer because everyone sells different things. I'm sure you had certain marketing strategy that worked in certain country but didn't work in another country. So it's going to be probably same thing. However, just to give you a hint in terms of overall marketplace conversion, you gotta work on reviews. Korean consumers are very conscious of what other people are doing, what other people are buying. Why is her skin better than mine? Why is her textile jacket looks better than mine? Or what is she eating that makes her so energetic, and so on and so on. So we're very, very social conscious. How do you put that? So you got to work on reviews. So if your product reviews are available on Naver, if you can plug in certain reviews on Coupang, your conversion and then your marketing will be much more effective compared to just plugging in product advertisement. So my suggestion is to work on reviews first and then start spending money for cost per click sort of advertisement in order to maximize your cost for your advertisement. Yeah, just to wrap it up, here, on the QR code, there was a LinkedIn profile of myself as well as Coupang Global Marketplace. Please scan it, add me, add us, and then you will be able to be updated with the newest news, as well as you can contact me. So, and this email address is for our team, so you will be able to reach our team directly. So thank you for listening.
Sayın Suri Yang'a değerli katılımları için ve değerli sunumu için bizler de çok teşekkür ediyoruz. Değerli konuklarımız Ankara E-İhracat Zirvesi'nin 1. gün programının sonuna gelmiş bulunmaktayız. Teşrifleriniz için hepinize tekrar teşekkür ediyoruz. Yarın Ankara E-İhracat Zirvesi'nin 2. gününde tekrar buluşmak dileğiyle iyi akşamlar.